Hey everybody, Mr. Jeff here, and today we're going to be talking about maps. And today we're going to be talking about this map in particular. This map is a map that was published by Captain John Smith in 1612, and it details his voyages of the Chesapeake Bay between the years 1609 and 1610. Now, there are four different parts of a map that you need for it to work properly. The first part that you need is right here, the compass rose. Now what the compass rose does is it tells you the directions on the map, north, south, east, and west. Now one thing I want you to look at right here on the compass rose is north is pointing this way. And if you look right here, this is the Chesapeake Bay, right here. And if you notice, it's going left to right. Now as we all know, the Chesapeake Bay goes up and down. Now why do you think John Smith made his map oriented in this direction with north pointing towards the your right-hand side? Well, as you're going across the ocean, coming across the Atlantic Ocean, this is what you're going to see when you're coming across. The first part of the bay that you're going to see, Cape Henry and Cape Charles. So if you're oriented the other way and you're coming across the ocean, you might be assuming that you're right in the middle of North or South Carolina, and that just might throw you off a little bit. The second part that you're going to need is right here. This is your map scale. This relates different distances and lengths on the map in relation to the real world. So for instance, this is in scale of leagues and half leagues. So each of these marks right here equals roughly 1 league. So you might notice on other maps says like 1 inch equals a mile and a half. That's your scale. It tells you that 1 inch on that map equals a mile and a half in the real world. The next part on your map that you're going to need is this right up here. That is your map key. Your map key is going to tell you the different symbols on your map and what they represent. So for example, we have right here this cross. It says signification of these marks to the crosses hath been discovered, what beyond is by relation. So what that means is anywhere on this map where you see one of these crosses, like one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, one right over here, says that anything beyond those crosses has been told to John Smith. This is the extent of how far he explored. Now the last part on the map that you need is this right here. This is the title. This is the part of the map that tells you what the map is of. If I just made this map and then throw a title on there, it could just be a pretty picture for all you know. Now another thing that you notice on this map is that it has a lot of embellishments on it, a lot of pictures. Now they did this back then not to make maps look pretty, but to relate the region to people. So if you were coming to Virginia or Maryland or to the Chesapeake Bay and you've never been here before, and you see this picture of this man right here, this tells you what kind of people lived here, what you could expect. So now that you know all the parts of the map, now you can go out and make your own map.